Hi everybody, it's Sunday afternoon. It's about 113 degrees. We have an excessive heat warning where they said it might get up to 120. So after my mall walk this morning, I'm back in my apartment behind my sunblocking drapes and I'm going to stay there until tomorrow. I've been doing my favorite, or one of my favorite things I should say, is watching Karen videos on YouTube because they're just hilarious. Um, I've always hated the summers in the Mojave Desert. When I was younger, I could handle it more, but now I just can't. It's so hot to go out, and usually when school was out, for years I did security work over the summer, and then I switched to Uber, and then I got tired of dealing with the traffic in Las Vegas, so I stopped doing that. Um, School starts in about, I think, 2 weeks. I go back to work Wednesday, and it's just crazy. The summer went so fast. I'm trying to get everything done. This summer, I wanted to go through things and hopefully find things that have been missing for a really long time. Some I've been successful with, others not. Since school starts a week from Monday, I'm going to try to get the rest of my work done here. And I'm not looking forward to having to be out during the day or at work. The school I work at was opened in 1973, and we have issues every summer when we come back with the air conditioning. So I think it's going to be pretty hot, so I'm bringing extra fans so I and the teacher that I work with, we can stay relatively cool. I really miss the Alaska weather. It was so beautiful there. And I look forward to being back in Alaska in September. On September 12th, I will be on Norwegian Cruise Lines going uh, to the East Coast, New England, in Canada. Never been to Boston, so I'm looking forward to being in Boston. I've been watching some political videos and seeing what's going on. Very disturbing how the Senate Republicans are attacking Dr. Fauci. Um, and he was the one that worked to save us during the pandemic. And they're trying to make him out a liar when all he ever did was speak the truth. They said that the government is forcing people to get shots and forcing people to stay outside or inside. And most of the people who are whining about this don't have enough common sense to realize that those restrictions that were put in place, were meant to protect us. Unfortunately, during the pandemic, two of my dear friends both lost their husbands, and I lost a beloved co-worker, our choir director, William McCoy. I was poll watching during the pandemic, and he came to the polling place where I was at, so I was able to speak and talk with him, and I didn't know it was going to be the last time I'd ever be able to see him or talk to him. And the right is still carrying on about the jab, and when they're not smart enough to realize that the vaccine saved millions of lives. I was driving Uber during the pandemic. Once it got to a point where you could buy a mask, a really good mask, without having to wait months for it. I also did other safety protocols, like even during the summer, I had my windows cracked so there was airflow. I provided hand sanitizer to my passengers, had sanitizer in the seats, so I kept my car nice and clean and sanitary. And once the vaccines became available, I immediately went to the VA and got my first shot. And I had 5 subsequent shots as the COVID campaign summer dragged on, and every time there was a new variant and they changed the vaccine to cover that variant, I would get that shot too. I had a total of 6 shots of the vaccine. I have never had COVID, and not so much as a cold. So I don't put much stake in them, saying, oh, they're forcing us to get these and forcing us to stay home, because they don't have enough common sense to realize that everything that was being done was for their good as well as ours. So it makes me really angry to see them go after Dr. Fauci, especially when that one senator asked him who the fuck he thought he was. He was one of the people that helped us. And they're just grandstanding and putting on this theater production to use as another diversion from the Epstein files, from the reflecting pool, which there was nothing wrong with it, but he spent millions of dollars on it and it was ruined, and now it will take millions more to get it back to the way it was. I was in DC 4 times last year, and each trip I went to the reflecting pool and it was beautiful and there was nothing wrong. It was just great. So he's coming up with all these things to divert from the fact that he hasn't released the rest of the Epstein files, and they're still attacking the survivors, and it's just not right. Well, I just wanted to jump on because I haven't been on in a bit, and for anybody that's interested in seeing political commentary where you can learn a little bit more about what's going on, I follow these 2 young men on YouTube. One is Dean Withers and the Dean Withers Show, and the other one is a 24-year-old young man named Parker. His channel is Parker Get a Job, and they are just very smart and very knowledgeable, and I have seen them turn people away from MAGA because they come with the receipts and they really know what's going on. So if you want to check those 2 channels out, they're a really good source. So I will see you guys next time. And for all of us who are living in the places where it's 100 degrees plus, stay cool.